All right. Hey, Angelo. How's it going, man?
All right. How are you?
Good. It's good to have you on our podcast called Covered. Yeah, man. So this is, I think, a good opportunity for our audience to get to know you a little bit better. So the whole purpose of this is just for me to, ask you some questions about yourself and, kind of your journey in the roofing business and that kind of thing. All
sure.
Right? Cool.
Absolutely.
So I guess let's just start out by you telling us exactly that. How did you, get into the industry? So just kind of walk us through your journey on how you landed here.
It was kind of weird. As a kid, my father was always scared of heights. No matter what it was, hanging Christmas lights, not even having the interest of roofing. I was just always known where heights never scared me. So, but with that, I was always on the roof. I've re-roofed the shed.
Yeah.
Got into at a young age just doing maintenance.
Yeah.
Working for a maintenance company. They decided to open up a roofing division.
Okay.
Basically asked who's not scared of heights. And that was the only criteria. So I was the only one that raised my hand, started from there, and got the hang of it as far as dealing with insurance.
Yeah, okay.
Repairs, retail.
So so how many years have you been in roofing?
I'm going on 16 total.
16 years?
16 years total.
So did you start out like actually installing roofs or repairing them? Or
Yeah, I started off with the crew, actually doing hands-on.
Okay.
Not being the main nailer, but just kind of a helper. Observed everything. I'm a visual learner, so just watching it kind of gives me an idea. Started to dabble a little bit on repairs, understanding how to remove and take things off properly and to reinstall it. Loved it. Again, loved the heights.
Yeah.
The hands-on, just being out there.
Yeah.
And I never tried to just stay with one thing. It was always working my way up the ladder and just learning everything that I can. What
would you say you enjoy most about what you do?
Honestly, it's just meeting new homeowners. It's not the same thing every day in every appointment. Yeah. It's always different.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that, honestly.
Okay. I remember the first time I met you, we were working a government job down in Randleman, and I noticed right away you were a very hard worker, and you never stood around waiting for someone to tell you what to do. You just like naturally knew what to do next and that kind of thing. And that's something that I respected about you, that because there's a lot of people that's what they do. They just kind of wait around and until they're told what to do, and then they do it. But you seem to always kind of stay ahead of things, and just like the small things too that you would do, like in terms of hospitality, from just getting, like you've found out that I like Ghost drinks or whatever, and you would just give me a little Ghost drink or whatever, the little energy drinks, and so I thought that was like super cool too. You know what I mean? You seem like you got a good heart, for people and that kind of thing. So that's awesome. So what would you say now that you've been with us for how long? Not very long.
I just finished my 90 days.
Really?
October 1st.
Dang, it seems like you've been with us.
December 1st was my 90 days.
Really? It seems like you've been here longer than that.
Yeah.
I guess. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, hey, congrats on passing that.
Absolutely.
So, what do you think sets 5-Star Roofing apart when it comes to doing roof repairs?
I'll be honest, and I've seen how other people handle things and their procedure, and what they have as far as a setup as a team. It's different here. Everybody knows what they're doing, what they're talking about. Being able to identify whatever needs to be done, and not fixing something that doesn't need to be fixed. We're really observant, and basically you just got a whole team that's behind us to kind of back you up. To help out with the whole procedure. It's not just meeting the homeowner as a technician. And just, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and just do the repair. There's a lot of steps to it. And to me that just makes a big difference. It's more organized.
So did you work for a company that would go out, do an inspection, and maybe offer up a repair that really didn't need to be done, or did you just kind of hear about it?
I've heard, and I've even dealing with homeowners that still have a leak. The problem was never solved, but you see what was done and what really needed to be done. And it's kind of like it's obvious. I mean, that was definitely, how'd you miss that?
Right.
But you found this. And that wasn't even the cause of the leak. In some companies, it's just a one-man army. That one person takes care of, which it's possible, but once you get to a certain level, you end up not meaning to, but you could get very disorganized. things falling through the cracks.
Sure.
So it's a big difference when you got a full team
Yeah.
where everybody has their own jobs.
Yep.
And but together, it's like a big transformer machine.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go to a house and you get up on the roof to, inspect, like let's say that we get a call, someone just says, I don't really know what's going on. I just know that, I've got a leak in my kitchen or, my living room or whatever. So what is your like first starting point? Like maybe walk us through the process of like how you figure out where the water is actually coming from and how to go about, offering up, what we have to do to fix it.
Absolutely. So when I first show up to the home, I meet the homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any interior damage within the home, that'd be the very first thing that we would look at. Locate where the leak is,
Yep.
The stain. Then from there, get up in the attic. Looking at the sheetrock pinpoints where it's at. So you go within that area in the attic, and then you just observe the decking, all the wood, if there's any wood rot, obvious molds.
Yep.
Once you finish doing your report as far as photos and all that, you move your way up to the roofing. And you basically just kind of go in that same area.
Okay.
And kind of try to follow where that leak is, where it's starting from.
So that's kind of cool that you said that. It's interesting also because I've been in the business for a while now, but before, being in the business, I would have thought the first thing that you should do is get up on the roof and see if you can find like a hole or whatever up on the roof, and then maybe work your way from there. But you're saying you like to start to see from the inside, kind of work your way up and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every case could be different.
Yeah.
Now, if the homeowner, it's already, it's definite, it's obvious it's a leak. We're just trying to figure out that problem.
Yeah.
But you're doing a full assessment on the whole roof.
Yeah.
But you want to actually, comfort the homeowner for what they called you for.
Yeah.
If it's something where it's not repairable, then, we pass that information on and let them know, like, this is just not repairable.
Right.
It's either a roof replacement, something beyond that.
So how do you determine if it's repairable or not?
You do a pliability test.
Okay.
That's one big thing. Make sure the shingles are pliable.
What does that mean?
So what I do is I take a corner of the shingle, pick a random spot on the roof, bend the shingle at about an 80 degree or 90 degree angle.
Okay.
Release it.
Just a little corner piece?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're not bending the whole entire shingle?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just a little corner.
Okay.
A lot of times I'll get it behind a dormer or somewhere in the back of the house where it's not visible.
Okay.
A real brittle shingle, it would probably break off. So it's not like you want to do a whole corner.
Yeah.
Just a little, or like a whole half a shingle, but you just take the corner, flip it up, release it, and as long as it's for it to be pliable, it's going to flex back and lay back down.
Well, so why is that important though?
Honestly, because when we're doing the actual repairs to remove the fasteners properly, you have to bend those shingles at a certain angle.
Okay.
And that's basically what you're testing. Are you going to be able to bend that shingle to get those fasteners out properly, where you're not causing more damage than what you're already, what you were there for?
The fasteners, meaning the nails?
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so you're having to bend the shingle above the shingle that needs to be repaired to make sure that you have enough space to actually hammer it down or whatever. Yeah. Okay, and if it breaks, then that's when you kind of know that that's impossible to do that.
You end up causing more damage than what your intent, your original reason why you're there.
Yeah. So then when you're on the roof and, you're making your assessment, is there a common repair that is done? I know that the cost is going to vary from repair to repair depending on what work needs to be done. But would you say overall there's a common one that you find most often?
Absolutely.
And about like how much does that cost?
So most times you end up seeing the things that are penetrating out of the roof, stack vents, pipe boots.
Okay.
90% of the time it's going to be the pipe boot.
Okay.
You could put a brand new roof on today, 7 to 8 years, you're going to have to replace that rubber boot.
Yeah.
It's not with the warranty.
Okay.
The average, you could average between $300 to $500 for a repair.
Okay.
And that'd probably be like, pretty basic.
Yeah.
Pipe boot replacements. A lot of times, some houses you replace the pipe boot and you have to replace the shingles around it.
Right.
3-4 pipe boots. That's you could be looking about a half a square.
Of
shingles you're replacing.
Right. Right.
Some homes you could take the pipe boot off completely and put everything back with a new boot. same shingles.
So I know we use a product called a PermaBoot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of times we'll do a pipe boot repair with some PermaBoots. So, but then there's sometimes where we will replace the whole thing, you know, and like you just talked about, we'll take all the shingles off, right, and put some new ones down around that area, which kind of leads me to then you've got like brand new shingles blended in with some old shingles. Yeah. You're definitely going to be able to tell, even though you did a perfect color match, just because one's aged and one's brand new, right? So how do you determine when to do a repair like that or when to just do the PermaBoot repair?
Now, if you have a roof, if I go to a roof and it's really brittle, to where, you know, you could be causing a whole lot more damage.
Yeah.
The PermaBoot is great because you don't have to remove any of the shingles.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You're basically, especially the PermaBoot repair kit.
Yeah.
You're basically leaving the main flashing that's under the shingles. That's staying there.
Okay.
You're replacing the top part of it, which
Okay.
is the most important part.
Right.
Water could go in the pipe, but it can't go between the rubber seal in the pipe.
Okay.
So that PermaBoot is what gives you a new seal.
Okay.
That deteriorated
Yeah.
from the first boot.
Awesome.
And that's without mismatching shingles, tearing up things.
Yep. And it's black and it, you know, it looks good and that kind of thing. So, and I don't know if you know this or not, but we just recently made a decision to, for all of our new replacement installs, we are going with the lifetime PermaBoot instead of just the standard.
I love them.
Yeah, because that is the most common, you know, area where water is going to eventually penetrate.
A lot of homeowners, they get a 30-year warranty.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, if it's not explained to them, in their minds, okay, I'll pay for this roof, and in 30 years, I got 30 years, and I'll never have to worry about this.
Yeah,
and that's not the case.
Yeah.
The shingles is where you're getting the warranty on. The other material stuff,
right.
The accessories, that's completely separate.
Yeah.
But that all falls into roof maintenance.
Yeah.
Over, just I'd say within 7 years, every 7 years or every storm, just double check everything.
Yeah.
And then whatever needs to be done, take care of it. So
from the time that we go out there, assess the roof, how long before typically we're there to actually fix the issue? So let's say today we go and we inspect the roof for whatever, repair it needs. Then how long before, like if the customer gives us the green light the same day, like, yep, go ahead and move forward with the work before we will do the work?
It all depends on our scheduling.
Okay.
How much work we have.
Yeah. But typically
it's I want to say no more than a week.
Okay.
But then also when we do the initial assessment on the roof, any temporary fix we could do to prevent anything from happening. Last week we went to I went on an appointment where it was a tree limb that went through the roof.
Okay.
Of course, you're not just going to sell the good job and tell the homeowner I'll be back next week and leave the limb there.
Yeah, right.
Remove the limb, tarp it temporarily.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, and that way it gives the homeowner that peace of mind that they're not getting any water damage.
Yeah.
Come back, replace the shingles that you have installed button caps in.
Yeah.
You put nails through.
Yeah.
And then the plywood.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk a little bit about your personal side. Mm-hmm. All right. What do you enjoy most about working here?
Honestly, it's just the homey feeling that the office has.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
I mean, you come in, it's like going to a family member's house.
Yeah.
Everybody has a smile on their face. It's how you doing. There's not one person where they would just walk past you. They go out their way to
right
to greet you in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially if you're leaving. It's just the energy is just way different.
Right. Yeah, I think we have a good culture
and that's what
here.
stands out.
Yeah, that whole cliche about that family feel. I mean,
it's true.
I do feel like we, definitely are like that. For sure. So okay, cool. You got a favorite hobby or activity you like to do outside of work?
I have a couple hobbies. One of my main ones is, of course, hanging out with the kids, doing things with the kids and the family.
How many kids do you have?
I got 3 girls.
Yeah. What are their ages?
I got a 14, 16, and actually goes down from there 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
So.
Awesome.
I'm pretty big on paintballing. On the side.
Okay.
So I used to.
You a good shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to think so.
I'm afraid of paintball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I see the shots on the neck and it looks painful.
It could be kind of.
Yeah. I've seen some bruises. Yeah.
I enjoy paintballing
Okay.
as a hobby. Fishing.
Okay.
I don't do as much, but I love some fishing.
Any particular kind?
Saltwater.
Oh,
For sure.
Okay.
Saltwater's different.
Okay.
Lately, my wife and the family, we've been, last year we would go to Wilmington every weekend, whether it's for a day or two. But that constant fishing in salt water is just, I was locked in.
Yeah.
Come here to the lake, it's kind of like just throwing it into the bathtub or something.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Not the
It's
same.
not the same.
Yeah. Okay. So how long you been doing that?
Fishing, I've done it since I was a kid. My
Okay.
father taught me.
All right.
Saltwater, I want to say about 3 years ago. I'm still trying
Okay.
to
So
get
that's
some.
when you discovered your love for
Saltwater
the
is
saltwater.
just completely
Okay.
different. Yeah.
Okay.
It's-
Gotcha. So what's a fun fact about you that most people don't know about you?
I'm goofy.
Well, I know that.
I'm goofy.
Yeah.
But
you got a fun story that pops to
it's
mind?
it's just some people look at me sometimes and they may think there's like a serious side of me,
Yeah.
but only if they knew. I mean, I'm like a kid.
Yeah.
And that's from being around my kids all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just being on their level.
Yeah.
But I also, whether I don't know if it shows or not, it's just who I am. But I do have a big heart when it comes
Yeah.
to just even the little things.
Mhm.
I pay attention to a lot of things, people around me. For example, like the ghost thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just those little things that matter.
Yeah.
And it can mean a lot.
Yeah.
And it can make your day. I mean, you probably started your day off wrong, and just that little
right, yeah.
gesture just kind of put a smile on your face.
Well, man, you know, one of the things that I noticed too is one of the days that when we were working on that project, and we all went out to lunch, but you brought your lunch, and you know, you finished up sooner than we got back, and you were out there helping because we had a couple of crews out there, ours,
Absolutely.
and then we had another one, and you were walking around helping clean up their area and all that stuff, even though it wasn't a roof that we were doing, that, you know, you just took it upon yourself to do that. So, I mean, that confirms,
Absolutely.
you definitely, Where do you think you learned that from? Because, I mean, honestly, probably most people on that planet, they do the bare minimum, you know, and if they're not getting paid for it, they're definitely not doing it. You know what I mean?
My thing is just to keep a positive attitude with everybody. In my mind, everything's 5-star. We're all one team.
Yeah.
I don't quite look at trying to make a dollar on everything.
Yeah.
If it's something at the end, you know, we're representing 5-star.
Sure.
And I could do something to help them.
Yeah.
Why not? You know,
Yeah.
it's my job to.
Yeah.
Then it also kind of creates a great relationship with someone. It starts off great.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't expect nothing in return.
Well,
It's
I was going to say, you know.
But I was raised like that.
Yeah.
My father taught me that it's not about being asked of what to do. It's whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
If you notice it has to be done,
Step
just
up and
do
do
it.
it. Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And in that situation, whether my help made a big difference or not, but just cleaning up a little bit. I noticed a lot of debris around.
Yep.
I mean, I'm done with my lunch. I'm waiting.
Yep.
Why not just go ahead and it's not a big deal.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You know, I heard somebody say that when they interview people, they actually intentionally have somebody put like a piece of trash behind the door. And so then when they're done with the interview and then the candidate leaves, and then they either have to walk over the trash, or they'll actually step down and pick up the trash and, go take it. But, that would be kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
I've not ever done
That
that.
is
So, yeah. So what inspires you the most in your personal or professional life?
What inspires me the most?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just kind of just be the best person I can. I mean, there's not really something that I guess I'll look up to.
Yeah.
It's just to be the greatest person that I can, the greatest dad,
Yeah.
greatest employee,
Yeah.
and just take it day by day.
You have like any personal core values that you kind of live by, or life principles?
Just honesty.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah.
Even if you were to screw up something, just own up to it.
Just own it and be upfront. Yeah.
I truly believe in that snowball effect. If you don't address something, take care of something, it's just gonna accumulate and get worse and worse and worse. So you just kind of just stay honest to yourself, stay honest to the other people around you.
What would you say to someone considering a career in roofing or as a repair tech?
Definitely do it. As long as you're okay with heights,
Yeah.
or if you could overcome that part, everything else is will fall into place as far as learning and knowledge. I just enjoy it. Some people love to stay within the office and be around people all the time, which that's not a big deal, but it's just I just love the scenery up on the roof.
Yeah.
Some roofs are higher than others. You see more things than others.
Yeah.
And that's something that if someone likes to be out there, out and about, and just kind of their office is outdoors, that's definitely a great career.
Cool. So have you been exposed to the rejuvenation?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you heard about it before you came here?
I've heard about it.
Yeah. But you didn't see it firsthand.
I was kind of taught not to like it in the very beginning.
Okay.
But then when I was introduced to it and got to feeling the chemicals and things like that.
Yep.
And then the first rejuve that I did, I was a believer.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
I know what a brittle roof could do.
Yep.
In certain roof conditions, and with that product and the outcome of it, that just brings life to it.
So for those that are listening, what is the rejuvenation system?
It's basically a lot of times where the north side of the house that gets the least amount of sunlight ends up growing black streaking algae growing on the roof. Yep. We basically take the rejuve solution. We'll do a nice clean of the roof. Go ahead and put the conditioner on as well, and that just brings life back to the shingle. Yep. Allows it to be pliable.
Okay.
It's a oil, which the natural oils, when the shingles are manufactured, over time it just wears off.
Yeah.
And that's what causes the shingle to become brittle.
Okay.
With the rejuve, you put the oils back into the shingle and just kind of gives it that facelift that it kind of needs. Not a brand new roof, not to where it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about it for 30 years.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to sell the home, or you just after the fall leaves have fallen, springtime comes, all the staining and everything. Yep. Go ahead and get that cleaned off with that.
So you've seen one put on. Were you out there and did one already?
Absolutely.
Okay. How many have you done?
I've done 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, 3.
All right. So you saw the before and after?
Absolutely.
It's kind of crazy, right?
And when you're up close to it and you could actually see it working, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
You can see the colors that it's changing as far as when it's eating the moss.
Yep.
And then you just see the outcome. Now the roof is not fully dry when we leave, but you could definitely see the difference.
Yeah.
From night and day.
Yeah. And we always tell everyone, give it about 60 days. After it rains and rains and rains, the roof will continue to get cleaner and cleaner. Because the oils is going to just work together with the water and just get better and brighter. And we actually had one of our clients said, like 6 months later, he was like, man, it looks better today than it did even 6 months ago, which is kind of crazy, Yeah. So you just got to let it do its thing and give it, kind of some time. So in closing, what advice would you give to a homeowner when they're, considering, because a lot of people, I think, will call, a couple, 2 or 3 contractors to come out to the house to take a look at the roof and that kind of thing. So if I'm a homeowner, you come out to my house, are there any particular questions that you would make a recommendation to the homeowner to ask, or something that they should look for that would be useful so that they can make a better decision on which contractor to go with?
One of the main things is just to double check the company's background as far as your reviews.
Okay. Google reviews, Facebook, all that. Yep. Okay.
Once you do that, it comes down to basically your gut feeling, and I'm a firm believer of that. There could be a lot of red flags shown, just by that person that's coming to visit and take a look at everything. You sometimes you could really see those red flags, or you kind of have that gut feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always believe you just trust your gut.
Yeah.
And just kind of with that, along with everything else, as far as good ratings, good reviews.
Yeah.
And how they handle the beginning of it, as far as calling, making an appointment, and how quick they react to it.
Yeah.
With all those mixed together, I believe a homeowner could definitely make a good decision.
Yeah. Well, hopefully when we're out there, they had something good to eat and their gut feels really good, so they can have a good gut decision.
Some people, they could just look at someone and just know, no, this is not working.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. No, I know. You definitely, kind of get that.
Yeah.
The vibe.
And some people just, they don't believe in it. They don't really, they ignore it.
Right.
And I'm a firm, just no matter what I do in life, it's go off your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Your body knows.
Right. So. Right. Yeah. All right. Awesome, man. Well, any final words?
No, I appreciate everything.
Yeah. All right,
Absolutely.
man. You're awesome, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you having or being a part of the team. I hear nothing but positive things about you all the time, and whenever I see you out there, working, man, you're just always killing it. So
I appreciate
definitely
it.
a very, very valuable part of our team, man. We're glad to have you here.
But that definitely falls in the part where having a good team behind me, owners,
Yeah.
And their energy, it reflects off of everything. So the way I am and the way I act with this company, it trickles off of the owners and the other people around me and their energy.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with a lot of people. I mean, if you were to come in every day with just an attitude or something where it's like you're angry at the world, everybody else is gonna fall right in suit. So
what do you got going on the rest of the day?
I got one repair at 3 o'clock.
Okay. An assessment or
no actual roof repair.
What are you doing?
That's the one with the tree limb that fell in the
roof.
Okay.
Okay.
We went ahead and tarped it last week.
Okay.
It was Thursday.
Okay.
And we're going today to actually replace the wood.
Okay.
And the shingles.
All right. So the decking got damaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just pierced through like a knife.
How big of a repair is it?
It's like a 5x5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
Couple hours, be done.
Architectural shingle or?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Are you just doing it by yourself?
No, Steve, me and Steven were going to head over there. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, y'all be careful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cold out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it again. It's a wrap.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
You're awesome.